Carly. It's Superhero Week, so we're going to be making Ninja Cupcakes. Alright, so some supplies that you're going to need to make the cupcakes. You're going to need some sugar, all-purpose flour, milk, vanilla extract or flavor, baking powder, and butter or margarine. And you're also going to need eggs. For the cupcakes, just some supplies: a fork, a spatula, a bowl, a liquid measuring cup. You're going to need so for solid measuring, you're going to need 1 cup, a half cup, a teaspoon, a half teaspoon, and a 1/4 teaspoon. Alright, so you're also going to need 2 cupcake pans, 24 cupcake wrappers. I have these Spider-Man ones for Superhero Week, but any kind works. For decorating, you're going to need some form of white icing, vanilla, cream cheese, as long as it's white, chocolate chips, and fruit by the foot fruit roll-ups or any kind of fruit roll-ups that you have. You're also going to need access to an oven. Alright, first we're going to start by preheating our oven to 350 degrees. Before we start working with our food, we have to wash our hands to make sure that our food is clean and safe. Remember to really scrub with soap just to get all the germs off. And then make sure that they're dry before we start. Alright, first we're going to start with our butter or margarine. So you need 1 stick or 1/2 cup. You're just going to put it into your bowl. Make sure that it's at room temperature before you start, and throughout the wrapper. And then we're going to cream it together like this. Just try to mush up the bigger clumps with your fork. Alright, next up we're going to use our sugar. So we're going to take 1 cup of sugar using our 1 cup measure. Make sure that it's an exact cup and use a knife to level it off. And if you need more, then get more. And then when you're done, you're just going to dump that right in. And still using your fork, mix it together with the butter until it's creamy. This might take a little while. If you have a mixer, you can use a mixer. Even though I don't really like to use a mixer because it puts a lot of air into your cupcakes. Alright, next we're going to be using our vanilla extract and our teaspoon. So you're going to put in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And I recommend doing this over a sink or a paper towel because you might spill a little bit of vanilla. And then using a fork, mix it around with the sugar and butter. Next, we're going to be needing our eggs. You need 2 eggs, and you're just going to crack them on the counter and into your bowl and throw the shells in the garbage. And remember that raw eggs can carry diseases, so you always want to wash your hands after working with raw eggs. And make sure that your hands are dry. Alright, now we're going to mix our eggs into the rest of the ingredients using our fork. Make sure that everything is creamed evenly and combined. Alright. Next up, we're going to take out our baking powder, and you're going to need a teaspoon, a half teaspoon, and a 1/4 teaspoon to get a total of 1 3/4 teaspoons of baking powder. To measure, I like using the thing on the side to really get a nice even teaspoon. Now our half teaspoon. And now our 1/4 teaspoon. Alright, and now we're going to just mix that in with the rest of our ingredients using our fork. At this point, I like to switch over to the rubber spatula because it's easier to mix in dry ingredients with the rubber spatula. Alright. Next up, we're going to need our flour, and you're going to need a 1 cup and a 1/2 cup and a knife. So I'm doing the 1 cup first. So I like to get a nice cup like this that's slightly uneven and take my knife and level it just to make sure that I have a perfectly even cup, and just dump that into the bowl. Next we're going to do a 1/2 cup, and 1 cup plus 1/2 cup makes 1 1/2 cups total of flour. And now we're going to fold that in with the rest of our ingredients. And next, we're going to take our measuring cup for liquids and our milk. And what I like to do is get down to eye level with your measuring cup to measure a perfect 1/2 cup. Here is your perfect 1/2 cup. And then we're going to pour this in and mix it up with the rest of our ingredients. Remember to be a little bit light because we don't want the milk to get out of the bowl. And then once it looks slightly blended, you could go a little bit and add a little bit more force to it. And there is your cupcake batter. We're going to need our cupcake papers and our 2 cupcake pans, and we're going to take the papers and put one in each little hole in the pans. Any kind of cupcake wrapper works. It doesn't have to be a specific one, but I'm using Spider-Man for Superhero Week. Now we're gonna put our batter into the cupcake pans, into the thing. So I like to use a spoon for this, just to make sure that everything is even. Just gonna put a little bit of batter into each thing. And it has to be even, so you might need a parent to help you. Make sure that each and every cupcake wrapper has even. Like an even amount of cupcake batter in it. So I like to fill it up about halfway because in the oven the cupcakes do rise. All right. Now we're going to take our cupcakes that are not cooked yet and we're going to put them into the oven. Ask a parent to help you with this if you don't have experience working with an oven. And then we're going to set a timer for 15 minutes. And wait for our cupcakes to cook. Alright, now we're going to work on our ninja cupcakes. We're going to work on the decoration. So to make this, we're going to need fruit by the foot, scissor, and ruler or tape measure. So you can do this while the cupcakes are baking or cooling, just to save time. So open up your fruit by the foot and just lay it out. And then what you're going to do is you're going to measure 3.5 inches with a ruler or tape measure. The 3.5 inches is about right here. And then we're just going to cut 3.5 inches. And then I like to do this trick instead of remeasuring it. Just use your old one to cut new ones. And cut as many as you can until you have enough for every single cupcake. All right. Once your timer goes off after 15 minutes, check on your cupcakes using a toothpick or some sort of skewer to poke into the cupcakes. You might need a parent to help you with this, so you're going to poke it into a cupcake. If it comes out completely clean, like this one did, then you can take your cupcakes out. If it comes out and there's like batter all over it, you might want to leave them in for a few more minutes. To take out your cupcakes, you're going to need 2 oven mitts. And just take out 1 pan at a time. You might need a parent to help you with this because the oven is very, very hot. Then turn off your oven. Alright. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to use a knife to take the cupcakes out of the pan and put them onto a cooling rack or just anything just to cool down. And I wait a few minutes after taking the cupcakes out of the oven to do this because the pans are very hot. So you have to be careful not to touch the pan. And the cupcakes are also very hot still. All right. Once your cupcakes are cool, we can start decorating. So you have two options to decorate. You have whole icing or not whole icing. So that's what we're doing, Ninja Cupcakes. So to make the one with icing, you're gonna take a cupcake and you're gonna take one little piece of fruit roll up and you're going to need a scissor for this part. So you're just gonna measure the fruit roll up on your cupcake and just trim off the extra sides that were cut a little bit too long. And then put that aside. You're going to take a little bit of icing on a butter knife and you're just going to lightly spread around the cupcake. You might need a parent to help you with this if you don't have any experience icing a cupcake, because you want to do this very lightly so then we don't get crumbs in the icing, because that does not look as appetizing as this. Then you're going to take your fruit roll up, you're going to peel it, and you're going to put it on the cupcake. Alright, next step to make the eyes. This is the same trick that we did last week with the Ziploc bag. Cut a small corner off of your Ziploc bag and then take a little bit of icing and put it inside of your bag. This is very similar to what we did with the Nutella last week. And zip up your bag. Move it to the hole, and then you're going to squirt out a little bit to make your eyes. It doesn't have to be neat or anything, because we're going to take 2 chocolate chips. Mini chocolate chips definitely do work better for this, but any size will work. You're just going to push down to get the little ring around the eyes. There you go, it's a Ninja Cupcake. Next, we're going to be making the one with less icing. So, you're going to need a cupcake. You're going to do the same thing with measuring your fruit roll-up and cutting off the excess. And now you're going to peel your fruit roll-up and put it face down on the edge of your plate. And you're going to take a little bit of icing on your butter knife and you're just going to spread it on the back of your fruit roll-up and stick that fruit roll-up onto the cupcake. And then we're going to do the same thing with the eyes, where we put a little bit of icing to make the 2 eyes, and then take 2 chocolate chips and push down. And there you go.